If you're trying to measure the primary or secondary current spike on a compact switching supply like this with a standard Hall effect clamp, it just simply isn't going to fit around that transformer tap. But if you have one of these, which is called a Rogowski current probe, then you can simply unclip this end, pass it behind the measurement point, and there you go, you get your waveform capturing those fast DI/DT switching edges with excellent bandwidth. This probe is made by a company called ZLProbe, and in today's video we're going to take a closer look, evaluate the specs, and eventually do a teardown. First of all, full disclosure, ZLProbe offered to send this Rogowski current probe free of charge for the purpose of this review, but I don't get paid by them and they have no say in the outcome of this review. But what is a Rogowski current probe? Well, unlike standard current clamps that use a heavy magnetic iron core, a Rogowski probe is just a helical coil of wire wrapped around the flexible plastic core, literally an air core transformer. An AC current passing through the loop will induce a voltage in the coil proportional to the rate of change of current. Now, because of this construction method, it means that one end of the loop can be unclipped from this plastic holder to be wrapped around the point of measurement. And the main advantages of a Rogowski current probe over the more classic and more common Hall effect current probe are its high bandwidth and zero core saturation properties. The main disadvantages is the fact that it can only measure AC currents, so that's why you might still want to keep around a traditional Hall effect current probe like this one from Micsig. The probe comes in this EVA carry case. It includes a calibration certificate. The electronics that actually amplify and integrate the signal from the Rogowski probe end are housed in this aluminum enclosure. You also get a high quality BNC cable included and the PSU required to power the electronics, which is a standard 12 volt output but uses this thin barrel jack connector. There are several models available with different specs. The one I have here is the FCP1608 series. This is the 300 amp model with 20 millivolt per amp and 30 megahertz bandwidth. However, they do make a wide variety of models with different specs and with different size of the measurement coil for all sorts of application. I have the small one here, which makes it very useful for passing it through small loops, small component leads on a PCB, things like that. But they also make some really large ones useful for wrapping around very thick cabling. They also have models that go up to 120 megahertz in bandwidth, so depending on what you're working on, there are options. I will put a link in the description to their PDF catalog so you can check it out. I will be honest with you, this is a pretty niched product, so if you need it, you know about it and you really need it, but for the average hobbyist, it's probably not on their radar. For example, I didn't even know this type of probe existed prior to ZLProbe contacting me about it. The specific model I have here retails for about 500 USD, but it may vary depending on where you get it from their AliExpress shop or Amazon, and I will place links in the description for you to check them out. Now, Micsig also offers Rogowski probes and they sell for upwards of €1,000 per unit. I won't even mention the likes of Tektronix, which will sell for upwards of €3,000 and are just rebadged units. So there is a very clear price advantage for something like this. But is it the same build quality? Well, I do not have one of the very expensive ones for comparison, but I can tell you that everything I see on my workbench, this is an aluminum enclosure. The cables feel like high quality silicone cabling. The end of the probe, I've noticed it has this part which looks like it may have been 3D printed and then sealed with some epoxy, but this doesn't look like it has been printed on a cheap FDM printer. This looks like it was done on something better and with higher resolution. The small 12 volt 1 amp PSU they include also feels like good quality. Now for getting a look at the parts and the build quality inside the unit, there are no visible screws, so what I'm guessing they did here because I'm not seeing any screws and there's no way to disassemble it through the sides. It must be a lid here, and there must be some hidden screws underneath this film. So I'm gonna try to hit this, raise its temperature a little bit to get the adhesive to release a little bit easier without breaking the film. So let me work on that for a second to prepare the teardown. So after getting the entire surface hot, I was able to lift just the corners enough to take the 4 screws out, and now we should be able to take this cap off. Now, as expected, a Rogowski current probe measures very small induced voltages in that coil, and so shielding is very important. That's why we have a metal enclosure, and that's why we have a shielding cannon here. Let me disassemble this further so we can take a look at the chips used in here. So I've taken the shield off so we can have a better look at the parts used in here, but I'll switch to some static images and let's discuss the chips they have in here. So I have identified some interesting components in here. First, we have this Texas Instruments THS4031 ultra low noise high speed preamp, 100 megahertz of bandwidth. Then we have a Texas Instruments OPA 140. This is a JFET input precision op-amp. This likely serves as a DC servo loop to minimize and correct for the DC drift. Then we have the output driver, which is the Texas Instruments THS4631. This is a high-speed 210 megahertz FET input op-amp, feeding the output on that 50 ohm resistor to match the scope input. There's also a couple of adjustable devices in here for precise trimming. Not sure if these are resistors or capacitors. Let's try to check the markings on them. Yeah, it looks like some of those multi-turn resistors, and I'm pretty sure they fiddle with those as part of the calibration process. I am surprised though that I'm not seeing any paint to lock those in place. There's also a secondary unpopulated SO8 device here, plus a BNC connector. Who knows, maybe they're experimenting with like a differential output or something like that. Then on this side, it's all power supply chips. Maybe they're generating like a plus and minus rail for the op-amps. So they're clearly using top quality components in here under a metal shield inside the metal enclosure to shield everything from the noise. These are all good signs of the build quality. Look at the strain relief here. Nothing to complain about. But whether or not you're going to buy something like this depends heavily on the type of work that you do. If you have the specific need of measuring AC currents with higher bandwidth and without the limitations from a standard current clamp in terms of the form factor, then maybe a Rogowski probe is the way to go. And these ones from ZLProbe seem to be very well built and priced at half of what you would have to pay for the next available option on the market. And if you're interested in getting one of these, I will place links in the description to their shop. I'm also interested in hearing your feedback in the comments below. Curious to see if you've ever heard of a Rogowski current probe before, and if you ever used one, especially if you used one specifically because of the form factor advantages it provides and the higher bandwidth. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time.